Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are having a fantastic evening. It's Friday night. I'm about to have a little bit of dinner. I just put the kids down, dad up. You already know what time is it. And before I go have my dinner, I wanted to make sure to make a video about PayPal. Ticker symbol of PayPal is PYPL. Before I start, I want to say something. I believe PayPal will never be the company that it once was. I might be wrong, but I don't think that PayPal is going to be a world beater, and I don't think PayPal is going to be a $300 stock. At the same time, I think PayPal is one of the best opportunities in the entire stock market because the valuation right now at a 52-week low and essentially a 6-year low at around $58 a share is an absolute shame, and PayPal should not be here either. I believe that PayPal should be somewhere around $110, $120 a share. Now, PayPal can run up to $150 a share and then drop back down. It could go up to $200 a share and drop back down. Heck, I guess it could go to $300, but in my opinion, it won't. 110, 120 is a fair market value for me for PayPal, and I believe PayPal is a fantastic trade opportunity. So if PayPal hits 110, 120, 130, I am out. I just wanted to make that extremely clear when I'm talking about PayPal. With that said, I am extremely bullish in PayPal, and I think that options are the best possible bet. And my options are for January 2025 at a $145 strike. However, there are some new options for 2026. Feel free to get those, or there are even options in the middle and end of 2025 if that's more your flavor. I do believe that PayPal, with a lot of other fintechs, is going to get a huge boost once the Federal Reserve pauses raising interest rates, possibly, and in my opinion, will happen, lowers interest rates, or if the country goes into a recession, or if GDP or the economy slows down. All of this is going to push towards the Federal Reserve eventually lowering interest rates. Also, with the elections coming up, I believe that the Federal Reserve in the middle or the end of 2024 is going to start lowering interest rates. Now I wanted to talk a little bit about PayPal in general. The old CEO, Dan Schulman, is out. He was the CEO from the IPO of PayPal. If you didn't know, PayPal was part of eBay, and then eBay broke PayPal off. PayPal went public, and at one point, PayPal was a larger company than eBay. I don't know what the size of eBay is right now, but I know PayPal was a larger company than eBay. From 2015 until today, or until like 2 days ago, Dan Schulman was the CEO. He was at the helm of the ship, and he did a pretty good job, except this guy is a little old. He's a little tired. He needs to take a rest, and we need vigor. We need strength. We need guidance, and we need youth. And in this search for vigor and guidance, we got a guy called Alex Chriss. Alex Chriss was a senior vice president of Intuit. Now, Intuit is actually a larger company than PayPal, and he headed small, medium business. And that department was in charge of, or actually bringing in, just over 50% of the revenue in Intuit. He had a huge team under him, and he has a very good reputation. If you check all of the words that are being said about him, if you check LinkedIn, if you go to Future Investing, Tanner, he showed some comments in LinkedIn. So this guy has a very good aura, and he's considered a visionary. Now, this guy has a chip on his shoulder for sure. He wants to make his career to go down as one of the best CEOs out there. This is the point of all of these CEOs that are coming and, working with these billions and tens of billions and possibly hundreds of billions of dollar company. He wants to show that he was absolutely fabulous, not as CEO, but absolutely fabulous in turning into it around. He wants to do even more so and even a more dramatic U-turn for PayPal. And I believe he has something to prove. And for better or for worse, he will be pushing like crazy full throttle. Now, I hate to say something like this, but it can't really get much worse. Maybe PayPal hits $50 a share. Maybe it hits $45 a share. But at one point, the amount of money that they have to buy back shares is going to outweigh, the total market cap of PayPal. I'm obviously joking and being sarcastic, but you get what I'm saying. And if you guys don't understand what I'm saying, PayPal buys back $5 billion of shares this year. They're going to do $5 billion next year. And I believe they did $5 billion last year. That equates at the current market cap to approximately 8% of the company. Think about that. If there was an actual dividend payment, you would be going crazy. Wow, 8%, that's absolutely absurd. It's beautiful. But because they have a reverse dividend where they're buying back their own shares, this brings value to your shares. Think about it like this. Imagine they paid you 8%, but the 8% that they're paying you is paid in stock value and not actual USD cash. So a lot of people are missing this about PayPal, and I believe that that's going to show in the revenue, not in the revenue, it's going to show in the value of PayPal stock, that buyback, and it's not going anywhere. Now, PayPal has some initiatives in innovation, which I'll go over in just a moment. But before I go over that, just remember, the main problem with PayPal, revenue continues to grow. Revenue is growing. It's not like dead. They grew revenue by like 8% last year. It's not dead. It's just not growing as fast as they once were. Revenue is coming in at like 30 billion this year. Revenue last time that we had the current prices in 2017 was like 13 billion. Let that sink in. The problem is the transactional margin. Transactional margin is the amount of margin you get from the transactions. At the end of the day, the bones of PayPal is transactional volume. The more volume of transactions, the more margins you can make per transaction. Well, PayPal has branded and unbranded. And branded is PayPal as you know it, which they charge an arm and a freaking leg. And unbranded PayPal is deals that they have, for example, with Uber that just extended their main deal with PayPal, which is fantastic. The problem is when they have deals with Uber or bookings.com or many other huge companies, billions and 10 billions of dollars companies that they basically take PayPal's technology, they wrap it up, and they say, hey, this is ours. And that's fine. That's part of the deal. The problem is the transactional margins are a lot less. Now, PayPal didn't realize this, but when they bought Braintree many years ago, Braintree was this unbranded product. Braintree is also Venmo. A lot of people don't realize that Venmo is actually PayPal. When you use Venmo, you are using PayPal. People, for some reason, are either naive, ignorant, or straight dumbasses not really realizing this. Talking about millennials and the young ages don't use PayPal. Yes, they do. They actually use PayPal, but they also use Venmo, which is de facto PayPal. In any case, PayPal never realized that unbranded would grow so fast, and they essentially shot themselves in their foot. However, the temporary CTO, the interim CTO, CFO, Gabriella, she was at the fireside. She had an interview with Goldman Sachs or UBS. I don't know. I posted them on my channel. I believe it was UBS Bank. And she says that transactional margins are going to go down one more quarter, next quarter. But then after that, quarter four, that's it. That's going to be the inflection point. If that happens, and all of a sudden our margins are going to start going up, this is going to for sure help PayPal and bring PayPal to that high double figures and low triple figures, in my personal opinion. the market, Wall Street, is looking for something to reward PayPal because it's been so unrewarded and absolutely smashed and destroyed this whole time. We just need that little fire, that little ignition, you know what I mean, to go up. Consequently, Alex Chris is going to be at the next earnings call. That's going to be his first earnings call. And again, I believe that's happening in about a month. It's going to be really interesting to see what he says. He had a video that came out. I posted it. Actually, I'll post it at the end of this video. You guys can watch it. It's a 3-minute video where he came in. He was enthusiastic. He was all fired up. And he was literally talking about pushing PayPal to the next level. The transactional margins are going to start going up. How? Different regions. You see, United States margins are the lowest for unbranded transactions. The reason why is we have an extremely competitive landscape, but globally the competition is less, which means PayPal can increase their margins globally, and PayPal is expanding their unbranded products globally. So these are a couple of positive things that's currently happening with PayPal. Besides for that, they introduced something called a stablecoin for all my crypto bros, and that's essentially a crypto token that is one-to-one, in PayPal's case, backed by USD and short-term treasuries, short-term bonds, something like that. What's the point of this? Well, first of all, Crypto.com just started making pairs for PayPal, USD, PYUSD, and XRP. Other exchanges are starting to make different pairs, and all of a sudden you have liquidity, and now you can trade different cryptos with PayPal stablecoin. Now, if, for example, you have XRP with PayPal stablecoin, and then you have, for example, let's talk about Algorand is also with PayPal stablecoin, and let's say Hedera is also with PayPal stablecoin. For example, they're not, but for example, now you have interoperability between different cryptocurrencies, and the crypto bros are going to be very happy. I am a crypto bro. I'm not making fun. I'm just stating a fact. This is extremely good to bring in more transactions in central exchanges and maybe some decentralized exchanges, although the actual hardcore crypto bros do not like PayPal stablecoin, but that doesn't matter because they only are about 5 to 10% of the market. Now, what's the point of this stablecoin? Well, besides for it increasing transactional volume and pairing right now in partnerships, it's going to bring in revenue to PayPal. How and why? Well, when you buy a PayPal stablecoin with American USD tender or whatever tender fiat money you have around the world, you lock that up with PayPal. PayPal then earns interest on that, and you're using their stablecoin. So it's essentially a money faucet, a slow, tiny drip. Also, it's going to increase the profit margins for cross-border transactions. So if something costs $1, now this is going to be a fraction of. Literally, the cost is one hundredths of what they were paying before. It doesn't sound like a lot, but if we're talking about billions and billions of dollars, it saves probably tens and hundreds of millions of dollars. Finally, they're making a strong push into crypto, and they're patenting on-ramping and off-ramping of NFTs, not NFTs like like these Charizards and things like that, Pokemon, but NFTs in fractionalization of real-world assets. For example, if you have real estate and you want to break down the real estate into 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 different points, each NFT will be a percent of this whole real estate transactions. People are already doing it in different types of ways. The point is, PayPal is pushing into many new areas to try to generate more revenue. A lot of people are saying, hey, Adam, but PayPal is not what it used to be. And you're right, PayPal is not what it used to be. You see, 3 years ago, PayPal had 50% of the market. And everybody's saying, hey, Adam, Amazon, Google Pay, Apple Pay, Stripe, so on and so forth, is taking PayPal's cookies. Nobody uses PayPal. Well, PayPal still has a 42% market share of all online payments. Let that sink in. 42%. Again, 42% is not 50%, and they can still lose market share. However, they are still a behemoth, a massive player. And for them to be trading the same price that they were trading 6 and a half years ago. And at the same time, only 30% up from all time back in 2015 when they are making so much more money. And this ship is about to turn around. In my opinion, I think it's absolutely absurd. That's my take on PayPal. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if you agree or don't agree. Thank you very much. Have a great evening. If you want to support the channel, $3 a month. Channel membership is down below. Have a great one and enjoy the rest of your Friday and weekend. Maybe I'll be live with Amit later on for PALANTIR Weekly. Take care.